Let's begin with a question that might seem a little odd. When did you last really concentrate on how you're drinking water? Not just how much, but the how, the when, and the why behind it. You see, many men over 60 are unknowingly harming their erections, their testosterone, and their energy levels by not drinking water correctly. I realize that sounds hard to believe. And believe me, I've heard the jokes. Come on, doc, it's just water. But after treating men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond for many years, I can tell you this with certainty. It's not always age that's the culprit. It's the habits you've formed. And one of the most neglected is how you hydrate, because your blood, the very essence that fills your penis during an erection, is over 90% water. If it's thick, sluggish, or lacking hydration, it's like trying to inflate a balloon with a faulty pump. Regardless of how much desire you have, nothing will happen. I've had men come into my office feeling defeated, heads hung low, marriages suffering, and libido vanished, and yet all it took was a simple adjustment to their water drinking habits to reverse that decline. In this video, I'm going to share the specific hydration plan I provide for my patients. I'll share some of their experiences, explain the science, and towards the end, I'll give you an easy, 7-second morning routine that greatly improves erections without the need for any pills. So, if you're tired of feeling like that aspect of your life is over, please stay with me, because this could be the most vital health information you hear all year. Let me be completely clear. No blood flow means no erection. It's not about relying on medication. It's not even always about testosterone levels. It all starts with one thing: circulation. And guess what? Blood is primarily water. Over 90% water. So, if you're not getting enough water, even just a little, your blood becomes thicker. It moves at a slower pace. It struggles to reach the furthest parts of your body, particularly down there. Think of it this way. An erection isn't some magical occurrence. It's a hydraulic process, like pumping water through a hose. If that water is thick and the hose is stiff, what do you think will happen? The pressure decreases, the hose barely fills, and your body simply can't rise to the occasion. One of my patients, Jim, a 68-year-old retired coach with a youthful spirit, came to me and said, "Doc, it's just not working anymore. I guess I'm just getting too old." But when I reviewed his blood tests and lifestyle, there were no major diseases, no concerning medications, just one problem. He barely drank any water. I told him, "Jim, I want you to do just one thing. Don't gulp it down. Don't overthink it. Just sip room temperature water steadily throughout the day." 2 weeks later, Jim returned with a big smile. "Doc, I don't know what's going on, but it's working again." That's what proper hydration can do. It thins the blood, improves circulation, and allows your body to do what it's still capable of, even in your 60s or 70s. So, the next time you find yourself wondering why things aren't working like they used to, first ask yourself, am I giving my blood enough water to do its job? Because without that flow, nothing else is going to matter. Let me tell you about Walter. He was 72, recently widowed, still mentally sharp and independent. But when he sat across from me in my office, there was a sadness in his voice. "Doc, I don't feel sick. I just don't feel like myself anymore. No motivation, no energy, no spark, and I'm not even interested in women anymore." And deep down, he was afraid. Is this just what getting old feels like? So, we ran some tests. And guess what? His testosterone was low. Not dangerously low, but low enough to explain his lack of energy and enthusiasm. His cortisol, the stress hormone, was higher than it should be. But here's the key. He had no serious medical issues, no new medications, nothing that screamed disease. Just one thing he admitted almost sheepishly. "To be honest, I don't really drink much water." There it is. You see, when you're constantly dehydrated, your body goes into survival mode. It starts conserving resources, shutting down non-essential functions. And guess what it deprioritizes first? Reproduction, muscle building, and testosterone production. Your body says, "We're low on water. Let's focus on staying alive, not getting frisky." And it gets worse. Dehydration raises cortisol levels, your stress hormone. And here's the issue. Testosterone and cortisol are enemies. They're like a seesaw. When cortisol goes up, testosterone goes down. So, what did we do for Walter? No pills, no hormone replacement therapy, just a new hydration plan. Water first thing in the morning, sips throughout the day, no caffeine in the afternoon, no alcohol before bed, room temperature, slow, steady. 4 weeks later, he walked in smiling. "Doc, I feel awake again. I laughed yesterday. I wanted to flirt. I feel like myself again. That's what happens when you stop running on empty. It wasn't age. It was dehydration. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Come on, document. It's just water. I drink it when I'm thirsty. What's the big deal? Let me introduce you to Mike, a retired truck driver, 67, with a gruff voice and a no-nonsense attitude. When I told him his water drinking habits were ruining his performance, he laughed. Doc, what do you want me to do? Say a prayer over the glass? I said, no, Mike. I want you to respect it. Because here's the thing. Drinking water the wrong way is just as bad as not drinking it at all. You see, most men, especially those over 60, do this. They gulp down ice-cold water when they feel thirsty. They drink huge amounts after a salty meal or after coffee. They wait until they experience dehydration symptoms before drinking. And that's where they go wrong. By the time you feel thirsty, you're already dehydrated. And when you suddenly gulp down a large amount of ice water, your body goes into shock. It can't absorb it properly. The kidneys panic, flush it out, and you lose valuable minerals like sodium and magnesium. You're just peeing it away. Instead, think of your body like an old classic car engine. Would you dump an entire gas can in one go? No, you fuel it slowly, consistently, so it runs smoothly. It's the same with water. Here's what your body prefers. Small sips of room temperature water spread throughout the day, not just when you're thirsty. Sitting down, not standing. Yes, it makes a difference. It activates your rest and digest system. Let the water touch your saliva, even for a second, before swallowing. It helps with absorption. Mike finally decided to give it a try. 3 weeks later, he said, Doc, I'm not just stronger in bed. I feel good all over. More stable, more present. You see, it's not about drinking more water. It's about drinking smarter. And once you do, your entire system, hormones, blood flow, energy, starts to function properly again. Sometimes the problem isn't what you're not doing. It's what you are doing, quietly, unconsciously, that's working against you. Let me tell you about Harold. Harold was 74, a retired pilot, a sharp dresser, sharp mind, and a sharp tongue, too. He followed my hydration plan like a checklist. He sipped water slowly throughout the day and sat down while drinking. No cold water, no late-night chugging. But when he came in for his follow-up visit, he said, Doc, I feel slightly better, but not where I hoped to be. So, I investigated further. We looked at his entire routine, not just his water intake. Here's what we discovered, and it might sound familiar. 1. Caffeine every morning. 2 big cups of strong coffee. 2. A glass of wine with dinner. Just 1. Document. 3. Fruit plus water combo. He'd eat oranges, grapes, or watermelon, then gulp down a glass of water right after. 4. Cold showers, cold drinks at night, even in winter. Individually, these things seem harmless, but together they negate a lot of his hard work. Caffeine and alcohol are diuretics. They pull water out of your system. You urinate more. You lose more fluids. You dehydrate faster. Water after fruit dilutes your digestive enzymes. It slows nutrient absorption and messes with your gut function. Cold water shocks your gut and slows absorption even further. So, what did we change? He spaced out his water intake from caffeine and alcohol. No water immediately after eating juicy fruits. He switched to room temperature or lukewarm fluids. He added a pinch of Himalayan salt to his morning water to help retain minerals. 2 weeks later, he said, Doc, my body finally feels like it's listening. There's flow again in every sense. Hydration isn't just about pouring water in. It's about protecting that water from being stolen by your own habits. One of the most rewarding parts of my career as a men's health doctor has been watching science finally catch up to what we've instinctively known for decades. When you give your body what it truly needs, it responds. Not with gimmicks, not with miracle pills, but with steady, lasting transformation. And for men over 60, one of the most powerful yet overlooked factors behind this transformation is something as simple as proper hydration. I remember a man named Carl. He was 70, still worked part-time, and was in good shape. No major health problems. But as he sat across from me, he described something I hear far too often. Doc, I don't feel sick. I just feel like I'm fading. My edge is gone. Carl's story was a subtle one. No dramatic crash, no sudden illness. But over time, he had slipped into low energy, weaker erections, poor focus, and restless nights. He attributed it to aging, as most men do. But when we looked closely, I noticed something important. He was barely drinking any water. He wasn't avoiding it, per se. He just never made it a priority. Like many men his age, he didn't feel thirsty, so he assumed he didn't need it. I encouraged him to start a hydration routine. Slow, steady sips throughout the day, room temperature, seated, no gulping, no ice-cold shocks to the system. Within 6 weeks, Carl looked like a man whose engine had been restarted. His skin looked clearer. He was waking up easier. His erections returned, stronger, more frequent. But even more than that, his presence changed. His wife even asked him, "Are you okay? You seem like yourself again." Scientific studies now confirm what we saw in Carl. Even slight dehydration thickens your blood, strains circulation, reduces nutrient delivery, and raises cortisol, your stress hormone. All of this leads to poor sexual performance, low energy, and emotional disconnection. On the other hand, well-hydrated blood is smoother, oxygen-rich, and better able to carry hormones like testosterone and nitric oxide, the very chemicals that drive strong erections and vital energy. There's something no one really tells you about aging. It's not just that your body changes. It's that your body stops compensating for your bad habits. When you were in your 30s or 40s, you could forget to drink water, stay up late, eat junk food, and still bounce back the next day. Your system was resilient. But after 60, every small neglect adds up. What used to be a minor oversight becomes a noticeable burden. Your energy dips more deeply, your mood swings more unpredictably, and your performance, especially in the bedroom, doesn't respond the way it used to. One patient, Frank, a 67-year-old retired electrician, put it best. He told me, "Doc, it feels like someone turned the volume down on my life." And I knew exactly what he meant. He wasn't just talking about sex. He was describing that quiet fade, the dimming of presence, vitality, and confidence. It's something many men feel but can't always explain. When we looked at Frank's lifestyle, he was doing many things right. He walked every morning, kept his weight reasonable, and had no major medical issues. But like so many older men, his water intake had quietly declined. Not out of laziness. It just stopped being a priority. He drank coffee in the morning, maybe a beer at night, and told himself that was enough. But it wasn't. Over time, that low-level dehydration had slowed his circulation, dulled his hormone production, and fogged his thinking. Once he started a consistent hydration routine, sipping warm or room temperature water throughout the day, avoiding fluids before bed, and staying mindful of caffeine and alcohol, his energy came back online. His erections, yes, but also his mind, his motivation, his spark. This is why hydration matters more after 60. Your body can no longer compensate like it used to. Every system, cardiovascular, hormonal, cognitive, becomes more sensitive to imbalance. Hydration is not optional anymore. It's foundational. I want to share something simple, almost too simple, that many of my patients say changed everything for them. It's not a supplement, not a workout. And no, it's not another prescription. It's breathing. Yes, really, but not just any breathing. I call it the 7-second morning trick, and it works hand in hand with hydration to boost something that's absolutely essential for men over 60, circulation, especially where it matters most. You see, when you take a slow, deep breath in through your nose, hold it for just a few seconds, and exhale gently through your nose again, you're not just calming your mind, you're triggering the release of nitric oxide. This is a naturally produced molecule in your body that tells your blood vessels to relax and open up. That means better blood flow, more oxygen delivery, and yes, stronger, more reliable erections. One of my longtime patients, Greg, a 71-year-old retired engineer, had already been following his hydration plan closely. His energy had improved, but he still felt like something was missing. "Doc, I feel better, but I'm not back," he told me. So, I asked him to try this. Every morning, right after his first glass of water, he was to sit down, close his eyes, and take 3 rounds of slow, deep breaths in through the nose for 4 seconds, hold for 2, and exhale for 6. That's it. Less than a minute. No equipment, no cost. 2 weeks later, he walked into my office looking 10 pounds lighter, not physically, but emotionally. "Doc," he said, "my body feels like it remembers how to work again." It's amazing what a little oxygen and intention can do. Most men underestimate the power of these small rituals. But when your blood vessels are more open, your entire system performs better. It's nature's own performance booster, and it's free. By now, you've heard the science. You've seen the stories. You understand that hydration is not just about quenching thirst. It's the foundation of blood flow, hormonal balance, energy, and confidence. But most men overcomplicate it or give up because they don't have a clear routine. That ends now. I'm going to give you a simple, step-by-step hydration rhythm, one that I've personally used with dozens of men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond, that works with your body, not against it. Here's how your day should look. First thing in the morning, before your coffee, before food, before checking your phone, drink a full glass of room temperature water. Sit down while doing it. Sip it slowly. This tells your nervous system it's time to activate and also kickstarts your circulation. Mid-morning, about 90 minutes after waking, have another glass, this time with a tiny pinch of sea salt or Himalayan salt. Why? This helps your body retain hydration and replenish minerals lost during sleep. It's especially helpful if you tend to feel foggy or tired in the morning. Lunch hour. Sip 1 to 2 glasses around lunch, especially if you're eating salty or protein-rich food. Again, avoid gulping. Just sip while seated. Afternoon. This is where most men forget to hydrate and then wonder why they feel drained at 3 p.m. Add another glass or two between 3 and 5 p.m., especially if you had coffee or spent time outside. If you've had alcohol or caffeine, drink a bit extra. Evening, around 6 o'clock or 7 p.m., have your final glass. After this, avoid drinking water unless absolutely necessary so it doesn't disrupt your sleep with nighttime bathroom trips. This routine might sound simple, and it is, but when followed consistently, it creates a rhythm in your body that supports hormonal health, stable energy, and reliable performance. One of my patients, Richard, told me, "Doc, when I follow that routine, I feel like my body actually shows up when I need it to." No fancy tools, no apps, just respect for your body's rhythm and water at the right time. Let me leave you with something personal, not as a doctor, but as someone who has spent decades sitting across from men just like you. Strong men, men who've worked hard their whole lives, who've provided, endured, and sacrificed. And now, at 60, 70, or even 80, are quietly wondering, is this it? Is this slow decline in energy, drive, erections, and motivation just part of aging? What if I told you it doesn't have to be? Because I've seen what happens when a man decides he's not done yet. When he chooses to take care of his body, not with expensive supplements or fancy hacks, but with the basics, with water, with breath, with rhythm, and with respect. You see, aging doesn't break a man. Neglect does. The body doesn't quit overnight. It whispers for years. It warns you with tired mornings, with fading libido, with less desire to look in the mirror or reach for your partner's hand. And most men ignore it. They assume it's normal. They assume it's over. But it's not over, not even close. Your blood still flows. Your heart still beats. Your brain still lights up. Your testosterone is still in you. Maybe low, maybe sleeping, but it's there. Your erection is still possible. Your drive is still yours to reclaim. And it all begins with the one thing you've had access to your entire life: water. Water that thins your blood, water that nourishes your cells, water that lowers cortisol and supports testosterone, water that helps you feel clear, connected, and capable again. That's not fantasy. That's biology. That's you. So, here's my final message to you. Start now. Start today. Don't let pride or doubt or the weight of time tell you it's too late. You've lived through too much, fought through too much to give up on your body now. You don't need to be 30 again. You just need to wake up the part of you that remembers what it felt like to feel strong, firm, and fully alive. Hydrate with purpose. Breathe with intention. Show up for yourself and your partner one day at a time. Because the second you start honoring your body will start honoring you back.